Welcome to this video regarding FAQ and DAO governance. So as we've seen on the previous video, Aave Governance is a fully decentralized community governed by the protocol and by the Aave token holders. There you can vote on your favorite proposals, vote a yay or nay if you either love it or not. Aave totally gives you full control of what would you like to vote on. And before we get started, it's important to understand that in order to vote in these proposals, you need to come to this website, app.aave.com/governance/. And here it's your dashboard where you can find all the proposals that have passed, they're pending, cancelled, active, and that failed or succeed. This is very important because here it's sort of a centralized dashboard that you can see. And on the right side, you see your wallet address, the voting power, which is respective to the amount of tokens that you hold on your wallet. Let's say right now I hold a very small amount of Aave tokens. This is proportional to that. That's my voting power. It's either the Aave tokens I hold on my wallet or the staked tokens that I have. They're staked. They're earning an API on the Aave protocol. And that's very important and pretty cool actually, because you can be earning APY on your tokens, and also you can delegate them to someone else to vote or vote with those tokens. So I think that's very, very cool. And here you have the proposition power. That's the power you hold in terms of voting. And it's based on, again, on your Aave or your staked Aave balance that you received. So some of the important FAQ that I'm going to go over, you can also find it here on this webpage, on the FAQ page. But let's go over briefly. And also, let's get started. So, Aavenomics is a framework, and it's designed to achieve the decentralization and autonomy for the Aave protocol. This includes governance mechanisms and financial incentives to align stakeholders with the Aave ecosystem. The Aave token is essential here, guys, because it plays a role in securing the Aave protocol. Without the Aave token, there wouldn't be the voting, and there wouldn't be other token economics that exist. So this is really, really important. Also here on this webpage, it's where you can essentially vote and see the proposals that are pending and so on, as we explained on the previous video, but I'll go back and reiterate because this is really important. In terms of what you need to vote, again, you'd come here to a proposal that's still, let's say, pending, and you can just try to cast your vote. This one is pending, so it wouldn't allow me, but this one is active, so you can either just come and decide if you're an abstain or if you just want to participate. So it tells us this is my voting power, either I confirm or not. Keep in mind that you'll need Matic on your wallet to vote because it costs gas fees to run. Essentially, this is a smart contract. And here you can see there's already been 12,000 votes on this platform. So this is pretty interesting with someone voting 160,000 Aave. And it's pretty cool. There's even the receipt for that voting. So how do you vote? You go to the governance section of the website. You'll go to read in each proposal. Let's say here, for example, the bug bounty. This proposal is essentially saying that if you find a bug on the platform, you should be rewarded. And this is a list of people that have found the bug and the reward that was accounted towards them. So this is pretty cool. Like, look at this one, Emmanuel Rissi. Congrats! Like, you received 35K for essentially finding a bug on the protocol and submitting it for improvement. And here you can see sort of like the top 10 addresses that voted on that. So read through the proposal and ensure that you have full understanding of what is being proposed. And if you like to discuss it, just select the discussion link. There's a discussion link here on the page. And you can also discuss it on Twitter, which is a very crypto-friendly platform. And so you can understand and discuss what's being proposed. And then on the right-hand side, there should be the vote that you like to cast. Since this proposal already executed, is not showing us. But then on the right-hand side, you were able to confirm your vote. Also, keep in mind, for your vote to be valid, your balance of voting tokens must be the same or greater throughout the entire proposal voting and validating period. So your balance cannot change. Sometimes there might be other smart contracts running on the background that change your voting until your proposal is valid, until your vote is validated. So make sure you're only voting a proposal at a time, so there's no issues. But yeah, so going back here, this is where you can filter and see all the proposals, and you can even set up a delegation. And what happens if you want to change your vote? You can easily change your vote, and you just have to follow the steps above on terms of doing what we you did for voting, the steps that we previously mentioned, and your previous vote will just be automatically canceled. So once you vote on a proposal, there's currently no proposals here that we can just go in and vote. They all show executed, but it's just the same process for voting, and we covered that on our previous videos. Um, can you move your Aave while your vote is still in progress? You can move your tokens as long as the amount you have in the wallet used to vote remains equal or higher than the tokens used to vote. And then reducing your token amount to lower than the amount of tokens used for voting would cancel your vote. So keep in mind, you always need to have that amount of votes, of voting power. You shouldn't change, otherwise it will impact your voting power. So that's very important in terms of your voting power. It's very interesting as it's not showing me any active proposals here. If this happens, you can try to refresh the page, and if it keeps happening, I'll just redirect to snapshot. And here you can vote. This platform, it's the most used platform and one of the safest. We covered in one of our previous videos, and there you can go in and vote if it's not showing up here. Um, can I add more tokens to my vote? Yes, voting again will reflect your new amount of tokens. So you want, you really like what these guys are doing, and the fact that they just found a bug, they should be rewarded, and you want to reward them even with more money, you can submit a new proposal, or you can just vote even with more tokens. Like, this is pretty cool. Like, AaveChain.eth voted with 242k.9 votes. This is a lot of voting power, and you can totally do this, and it's really participating on an active democracy level. So yeah, basically how does the voting work is you see the from idea to implementation execution posts on the governance forum, and I can show you here. There's a forum here. You can discuss any ideas, ask any questions to the community. They'll definitely help you. And there you can find the from idea to implementation execution posts. It should be here on this page. If not, just easy search, and there you can find how does the voting process work in the back end and the background. And also there is a technical explanation, and for that you have to see the developer docs. What is the voting threshold? This is a question we get a lot in our community. The voting threshold basically is the voting threshold for AIP, the Aave Improvement Proposal. This is dynamic and can vary depending on the quorum and the difference between the votes for and against the proposal. Let's say if there is only a few votes against an AIP, the threshold remains unchanged. However, if there is significant votes against an AIP, the threshold can be increased, requiring a higher number of favorable votes to ensure overwhelming approval before the implementation. I know this can sound a bit confusing because we have sort of a dynamic voting system here that allocates the new voting power as sort of goes on the way. And let's explain it with a real world example. Let's say we have, imagine that your friends are voting on a movie for a movie night. The voting threshold is the number of votes a movie needs to win, basically. If a movie gets a lot of votes against it, the threshold increases, making it harder to win. This ensures that the chosen movie has strong support from everyone before it's picked. So that's really how the voting threshold works, basically, at the end of the way. And similarly, in Aave economics, the voting threshold adapts based on votes for and against the proposal. And this ensures a widespread approval for changes in the Aave protocol. So it's really an active participating democracy in terms of dynamically voting the changing power. And if you have any more questions, we'll be here. Comment on this video. Join Ben Learn at blockchainedu.org. We are there to help you in this process of voting, of understanding how to interact with the Aave protocol. We understand it can be confusing, but guys, this is really, really cool. The fact that you can stake and earn an APY and delegate your voting power to others vote for you. And you can also vote on proposals that are directly implemented into fully decentralized protocol. It's really, really cool technology and amazing. So I highly recommend you guys to get involved. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, and see you guys.